I'm back with another triggering topic, and y'all are probably gonna be mad at me for saying what I'm about to say, but I gotta say it anyway. But just like I say, my page is a safe space for Black women. This is a safe space for me too. And I'm gonna say that Nelly and Ashanti is the spin the block from hell, literal hell. But before I get into it, let me give y'all a quick disclaimer. This channel is filled with my thoughts and my thoughts alone. Everything is all alleged, nothing is factual. I do not know any of these people personally. Now, this is a commentary channel, and oftentimes I use clips and news articles as part of my critical review, right along with fair use guidelines. Now, let me say this. I made an Ashanti and Nelly video almost a year ago called Shaming Black Women into Struggle Love. And I talked about how people shamed Ashanti for being single and sexy and child free. I saw men asking, oh, what's wrong with her? She got to be crazy, this, that, and the third. And women said, oh, well, when she going to have a child? She ain't got no kids. She must be selfish, etc., etc., etc. And, I really feel like that was just because, she was by herself and not linked to anyone publicly. And, I really think that people must not realize as a community, when people make women feel as if there is something wrong with them because they're single or child free, then you can make Black women feel as if they need to hurry up and get married and have children so that they're not looked at in a negative manner. And what happens is that a lot of times those women will settle and have negative outcomes. And not saying that this happened to Ashanti, but I do feel like being with the man for a decade and breaking up with him and hating him for years, which she said out of her own mouth, and then getting back with him, that's not a love story in my eyes. It is settling. You broke up with that man for a reason. Yes, you did. And the way that he did Miss Jackson after she stuck by his side with his many great allegations, that was bogus as well. Now, I also remember I spoke on those charges that Nelly had, the possession of X pills, back in November of 2024, while he was out in these streets, while his pregnant wife or newly given birth wife was at home. And my thing is that as a grown man, what you got X pills for? And you out there without your wife. Like, what you using them for, player? But, Nelly won't be facing any charges for any of that stuff. Prosecution has declined to put any charges on him for that. So, but anyway, I will say also, not to mention that a couple weeks ago, I think it was, an IG model claimed that she hooked up with Nelly. And, she could be lying. I'm not saying that she's telling the truth. She could totally be lying. She didn't post any concrete proof of her being with Nelly. But I will say oftentimes where there is smoke, there is fire. And not to mention the several women that have accused Nelly of rape, even one that he settled. And, even with all of that, right, in my opinion, and I don't know, I don't think that Nelly is an unattractive man, right? I think Nelly's an attractive man, but I also think that Nelly got some crazy eyes. Y'all never looked at his eyes? I think he got crazy eyes, in my opinion. But anyway, none of this, none of what I said is neither here nor there. I just wanted to give y'all the backstory on what I'm about to say. Now, with this Ashanti and Nelly reality show, which I had no desire to watch. I'm sorry. I like Ashanti, not a fan of Nelly, not a fan of a man with a whole bunch of rape allegations. I don't want to see you talking about nothing. I'm sorry, I don't. And I will say though, when they announced the reality show, I already knew what was going to happen. I already knew that people were going to pick apart their relationship. I already knew that things would be exposed that would make people say, maybe this relationship isn't exactly what we've been putting on a pedestal. Not me, but what the general public has been putting on a pedestal, And I really felt like what it would do is it would make some people question the spin the block fairy tale delusion that a lot of people had about them. And from the clips, which I can't show here because of copyright, but I saw a clip of Ashanti clearly not being okay with Nelly's decision to perform for Donald Trump. The most disturbing clip, though, that I saw was where Ashanti talks about Nelly sleeping through the night and not changing his son's diaper. And Nelly says that it's a gift that he has that allows him to sleep through the night, and he's just talking about how basically that's Ashanti's responsibility until the child can speak. And in my opinion, that right there should show you what type of husband that you have. A lazy husband, period. You know what I'm saying? Because why are we married then? Why did you want to have a child then? You know what I'm saying? Because you clearly wanted to be married to me so that you could get all the benefits of marriage without doing what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And for the people that say like, oh, well, he said that he'll have some nannies and nanny this, nanny that, and nanny this, or that he has relatives also that can help. So, in what world is it cool for a father to rely on nannies to change the diapers and wake up and tend to his child, huh? And my thing is that's what I'm talking about. The grace that is given to black men for doing the bare minimum is so wild every time I see it. Because I don't care if Ashanti said she had 30 million nannies. If she sat there on national TV and said that, oh, I sleep through the night while our newborn son is crying and Nelly just changes the diapers. Or she said, yeah, I sleep through the night. I just have the nannies wake up and they do all of the work. She would be dragged. Do you hear me? Dragged for filth. And, I just want you guys to come back to this video in the coming years because Ashanti and Nelly, this is not going to be a long-lasting union. I promise that it's not. And I really don't mean it to say it for people to think that I'm hating and I want Ashanti to lose or I want Ashanti to not have a happy relationship. It's not that. I like Ashanti. She has great energy. But Nelly, in my opinion, her getting back with them should have just never occurred. It should have never occurred. She should have left him in the past where he was at. And my thing is that if you were in a relationship with a man where he's done so much that you not only leave him, but you stay gone for years and you said that you hated him, you should stay gone. You should stay gone. Because whatever issues that he had, I promise you, has not changed. It has not changed. Now, he may camouflage them and hide them so that he can get you invested again. But baby, when that facade, when that mask comes off and is exposed, it's going to be something really, really, really nasty. And really, like I said, I feel for Ashanti because she's a beautiful woman and she always exudes like light and positivity. She really does. And, I really feel like the only person that really benefits from this pairing is Nelly. It's only him. And I really feel like Ashanti, at the end of things, she's going to end up being on the short end of the stick in this case because all I saw was baby girl vacationing, looking single, sexy, and child-free, and living her life in luxury before she got back with this Negro. Now she's got bad press from Nelly and his Trump support. Now she getting bad press because this Negro talking about how he sleep through the night and let her do the labor with their child that they both went 50% on. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, please don't come in my comments talking about I'm hating and I don't want to see black love because that would be a lie. Lies, lies, lies. I would love to see black love if it's actually black love, but a lot of y'all want to be for black lies. And I'm not here for that. Now, like I said before, when you leave a man and you're able to escape and you go back to him, 9 times out of 10, he's going to leave you in a way worse position. Trust me, I know. But I digress. If you watched this whole video and you truly enjoyed it, then please do me a favor and drop a 0 in the comments down below. And I think it's self-explanatory. And if you can't donate to my Cash App above to help support the channel, that's no problem at all. Just do your girl a free favor. It won't cost you anything. Follow your girl on TikTok. I do live stream there exclusively. You'll love it there. And also, subscribe to your girl on YouTube. Subscribe. And also hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my new uploads. And as always, ladies, I really love to hear from y'all. So please drop your thoughts, comments, and feelings down below.